In between East and West Avenues, John Rich Park is a little sparkling gem in Red Wing. A gem that was recently restored to its original luster thanks to a generous donation of a local anonymous benefactor. Before we take a look at what this restoration entailed, let's take a quick look back in time to see how John Rich Park started. Originally, the site of this park was a sandlot in front of the Episcopal Church. But during the City Beautiful movement in the early 1900s, John H. Rich had a better idea for the space. Rich was an active founding member of the Civic League, and he donated over $5,000 to finance the development of the sandlot into a park. It was christened Broadway Park, and was dedicated in the fall of 1907, though it would later be renamed John Rich Park. It was beautifully landscaped, with a fountain, pool, pergola, limestone sidewalks, granite benches, and symmetrically designed plantings. Its stateliness and timeless designs have made it one of the most iconic spots in Red Wing, and its popularity has stood to the test of time. Over the years, new features were added to the park, including a memorial in 1988 that commemorates Goodhue County citizens who have lost their lives during military service to our country. Pillars surround a flagpole bearing the American flag. Each pillar bears names of fallen soldiers of the wars they fought. Beautifully illuminated, the names of the fallen can even be read at night. In February of 2020, a Purple Heart Memorial was added in front of the Veterans Memorial. It was dedicated to the memory of soldiers who have received the Purple Heart Medal, a medal awarded to members of the United States Armed Forces who are wounded by an instrument of war in the hands of the enemy, or awarded posthumously to the next of kin in the name of those who were killed in action or die of wounds received in action. In the same year, an anonymous donor approached the city and offered funds to restore the fountain and the area to its early 20th century glory, bringing us to the most recent and significant restoration work on the park since its original creation. Plans were made and work began in 2021. The pool was restored to its original size, removing a bed of roses that had been planted around the inner pool. Loose paint and concrete were removed, and the underside of the fountain was waterproofed. A new concrete floor was poured, and the bottom surface of the pool was painted a darker color to give the appearance more depth and to better reflect the sky. New mechanical work and a waterproofing membrane were installed. One of the most captivating changes visitors to the park will notice is the change to the water spray in the fountain itself. The original fountain's mechanical system consisted of a single pump. It was only capable of producing a small spray effect and couldn't filter or treat the water. Subsequently, the water spoiled often, and public works staff had to drain and refill the pool whenever the water quality became poor. The new mechanical system can filter and treat the water and can also remove overflow when it rains to keep the water at a consistent level. As you can see right here, the water spray has become stronger. To rebuild the fountain, the sidewalks directly adjacent to it had been removed. When they were reinstalled, they were brought up to full ADA compliance and color matched to seamlessly blend in with the sidewalks throughout the rest of the park. More lights were installed by the sidewalks to better illuminate the park's pathways and surroundings at night. More planting beds were some of the final finishing touches added before the restoration was completed in May of 2022. Red Wing has a strong history of protecting and preserving its historical structures, and an equally strong history of local philanthropy. The convergence of these two values have benefited our community immensely over time, and the restoration of this fountain is just the latest example. May it stand proudly in John Rich Park for another 100 years.